Although you may have
Mm-hmm.
given their picture, and this person doesn't know them from a can of paint, so they're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be putting this person's business in the street. And I
Mm-hmm.
always say what's done in the dark always comes to the light anyway. So we just have to be mindful of how we handle ourselves in the public. I think the hardest thing for me, been for me, is to date because I am an entertainer. You know,
Mm-hmm.
most men don't want to date me because they call me Miss America. They say I don't want to be with Miss
Mm-hmm.
America. Too many people know you. You know, my social platform is too big for them. You know, and I'm thinking I'm a public figure, but I'm a very private person. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and so I wish I never did understand that, but I get it now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, and even sometimes when you even do all the right things, sometimes stuff still happens. You know what I'm saying? But you still
Mm-hmm.
have to be mindful. Because I just had a situation a month ago where I asked all the right questions, was dating the guy, you know, and then he attacked me. You know what I'm saying? After
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with me for 3.5 weeks, getting to know me, opening doors, fixing me breakfast in bed and things like that. And then one day he just all of a sudden clicked and, you know, within himself because
Mm-hmm.
he, you know, and it's weird because now he's receiving help. You know, he's talking to somebody because he, you know, and I'm like, in my mind, I don't have to talk to you ever again. You
Mm-hmm.
showed me who you was, but I'm okay with being his friend now. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I told him, I said, but in that instance, you could have taken my life and thought nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what bothered me, is that you were somebody that I was starting to care for, and I was like, oh, this can't be true. He's too good to be true. And sure enough, he was too good to be true. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because you were dealing with your own mental psyche about what you thought, which I didn't understand because I wasn't the first transgender woman that he's, you know, been involved with. So I'm thinking to myself, what did you do to these other women? If you did that to me, what did you do to them?
Desiree, it's great that you're putting out this great information. Now, I have to say this because Perry brought it up to me in a conversation. Now, what do you say to Black men or just men in general? Because as we know, as the girls, trans porn has almost overridden normal porn. Most men don't like watching normal porn anymore. They are
They
watching the
don't.
female porn and the trans porn.
But you know, that is, believe it or not, the people who make trans porn or gay porn, what they have
Mm-hmm.
done is that when you go and you see previews of what you're about to watch, the straight porn, they show you it's to entice you,
Mm-hmm.
to make you curious, and that's what has happened. So a lot of men that watch straight porn, they like, oh man, fast forward, and then one day they ain't caring about fast forward, they like looking
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, they're turned on by it. And they
Mm-hmm.
want to see it, which has helped. Also, another thing that has helped men who are having these issues with themselves, they've gotten their women involved. Their women are
Mm-hmm.
now into, what did they call that? Pelting. Well, I forget what they call it when the men are
Pegging.
pegging. Yeah, that's what it's called. The men are into pegging. You know, they used to say, a
Mm-hmm.
man used to be like, don't touch my butt, don't put your tongue down there, don't do that. Now
Mm-hmm.
I see more straight porn where men are getting that done by women, transgender people, you know, and gay men. And I was like, it's just, the bisexual revolution has happened,
Okay.
per se. And, you
Now,
know,
now, I just want to say, I want to thank you for being candid about it because you're the type of person that I like talking to because I'm very direct. And you are very direct, and I like talking to direct people because we need the right answers and we need to make sure that when people are listening to us, it's the truth. And it's from experience and it's from the mere fact of what we watch and see every day. And to our brothers, to our trans brothers and sisters out there, and just in general to the gay community at large, we need to be mindful of our hookups. We need to be mindful of our surroundings. We need to be mindful of us just being on the internet and being sexually explicit or just inviting people into our homes and into our
yeah.
lives that we
Any
have
person
not
sees you eat,
taken
that's what
time
red flag.
to understand. So I just want to say thank you so much. You were
Thank you for having me.
amazing today, and you gave me some great insights, and hopefully we're going to help some of the girls out there. So ladies, Desiree's advice is be mindful, check the information, check those pictures, check and see if they have a history. Make sure, just be smart. Don't be just jumping into people's cars. Make sure somebody knows where you're going, and make sure that you know who you're meeting.
Yeah.
And be careful. Making $1 is not worth your life.
It's not.
Smart. Be smart. We know you need to make some money, and we know this is not going to stop you from jumping into those cars and doing all this and doing all that. But just be smart and be careful. And so, Desiree, thank you so much for talking to us today about Trans Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, and nothing can be accomplished until we first figure out and make sure that all Black lives matters, and then we can get to the root of what all the underlying issues are about trans lives, gay rights, this, that, so many things to talk about and to try to figure out along the way. But one thing is good about all of this is that we have a movement going now. And it's great that, like I said in my last conversation, maybe this pandemic.
We can't give up because it's newsworthy right now. It has to continue to go because now it's so far ahead that if we stop now, because they want to arrest some people, they're arresting these people, but they're not convicting them. And that's where the problem is. That's just like this thing with George Floyd. I am praying that, the riots have stopped, the looting has stopped, and the people are still upset. But what I'm afraid of is that if these men are not convicted of what our country, especially in the United States, what it's going to look like after these men have received their sentence or no sentence. And that's going to tell the story of the country and what's going on.
Okay. Well, hopefully in November, there are going to be some changes.
Vote, people, vote. Get out there and get registered to vote.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Desiree, so much for such a great insight on the trans murders around the world and just to hold your voice about the LGBT community and your thoughts on just helping the girls protect themselves and the fact that we've lived, and hopefully people will learn from the mere fact that we've experienced a lot of these terrible things about our people, and the mere fact of just people that we work with all the time. I miss a lot of the girls that I know were murdered, and some of them, were in my contests or I hung out with all the time, and I miss them and I think about them, and some of those murders are unsolved, but hopefully we're gonna get some attention to make sure that, keep the pressure up, we're gonna get some of these murders solved and bring those people to justice, and hopefully they will serve the time for their crime that they have committed against people that were innocent. And maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe some of the situations weren't as innocent, but it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't matter. A life is important. You don't steal
you
someone's
can't
life.
be murdering people because of their sexuality and because you feel like, okay, I made a mistake. It doesn't work. So I just want to say thank you for a great conversation today. And remember, people, everybody's life matters. And we're not going to stop until you recognize that Black Lives Matters and everything underneath that matters as well. So I just want to say thank you, Desiree Demornay from Phoenix, Arizona. And we will talk to you again, and have a great weekend.
You too, my love.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.